G'day there everyone, Daniel Anderson here. Now for those of you who are in a role where you are finding yourself needing to organise meetings with groups of people, especially external people, you'll understand the pain points and frustrations that you have trying to find a suitable time when everybody is available. Emails flying backwards and forwards, people not agreeing on times, and all of that rigmarole that you will no doubt be accustomed to. Now there's an Outlook add-in that is called FindTime that I'm still finding people are still unaware of its existence. Now I've been using this recently to schedule a number of meetings with external parties and they haven't been aware of it. So they've loved the way in which it works from their end. So when I'm sending polls out, the ease at which they can just select the times that their preferred times or times that when they're available, that will then automatically schedule meetings for me as a Teams meeting, and they can send the invites out to them, and they can just accept that rather than having that email backwards and forwards, especially when you think about trying to schedule meetings with 5 or 6 or 10 people. That can become very, very time consuming and really hard to manage. So FindTime is an application or an Outlook add-in that I would highly recommend you start to utilize if you are in that type of role. So let's have a look at how we get this set up and what the process is. Now you can see that I'm logged in as Megan, and first thing we need to do, and I'm in Outlook Online here, but it comes through in the desktop version of Outlook as well. We need to add FindTime first of all so that we can begin to use it. So this little icon down here where it says more apps, when I click on this, you'll see that the apps that or the add-ins that I've already added will appear here, but I can also get some more. So obviously the one that we want to try and search for is FindTime. So we'll pop in FindTime, we'll open it up, and we'll add this to Outlook, meaning we can start to use it. Okay, we'll just close this out. Now, this will be added to Outlook, and when I fire up an email or reply to an email, then I can now insert a FindTime poll and allow people to vote. So now that that's been refreshed, I'm just going to click New Message, and we are going to let's add 2 people. So I'll add an internal person and also an external. So we'll go my email address and like so, and we will then add, let's add Alex as well, who's an internal person. So we've got 2, one internal, one external. Let's go project update. And now we'll add a poll to the body of the email and send that across. Now when I click on this apps icon, you can see that I've got the option to select FindTime. The panel will fly out from the right-hand side, and now I can begin to create my poll. You can see that I've got a few options for me. I can select work hours or non-work hours. So if I untick this, you'll see the times change, and I've got every time possible. Or when I select work hours, it's only going to represent the time, my working hours. You can see that I can set a duration, 15:30, and a few other set times. Let's change it to an hour, and that's going to change the times here. Now, the date, we can flick across to different months if we want to, May, and then also the next one down, we move across the days. So let's select Monday the 4th. Now you can see I've got a few times available. We've got some icons here. This is the calendar event table. So what this indicates is my calendar shows the suggested time up against my calendar just to see if I've got any meetings prior or post this particular scheduled time. And then I've also got an availability group. So you can see I'm available, Alex is available because I've got access to his calendar as part of our tenant, but the external person I don't have access to, so we haven't got that free busy type of setup there. Now, if we select a few times here, we'll go 7, 8:30, 10:30, and go 12:30. We can select a different day as well. So if we go the 5th, we'll go 11 and 12. And we'll click next. Next, we've got a few settings again that we can turn on or off. Now we can enter a location, but it's a Teams meeting, so we'll just leave that blank. We've got the option to not make it a Teams meeting. if we want to, by unticking this. And then we've got some options here to hide some different poll settings. So notify me about poll updates. We want to leave that on. Schedule when the attendees reach consensus. So we definitely want to leave that on. Now we want to hold the selected times on my calendar. So what this does is when I send this poll, every time that I've suggested here, that's going to block out those times in my calendar, so that it's going to hold those in my calendar so I don't book anything over those times while this poll is out for voting. All right, so again, that will just appear in my calendar. So that's a good idea to keep on so that you don't then double book and things like that. We lock the poll for attendees. We want to leave that off because we want to leave it open. Email notifications in FindTime language, we'll leave that on. Now, require attendees to verify their identity. Now, what this means is that when I send it to the external people, it's going to make them enter a code. So they'll select their name and they'll need to verify their identity by entering a code that gets sent to them. So just a little bit of a validation of the identity there. Now for this example, I'm just going to turn that off and we're going to add this to the email. We now got 6 options and we can now send this out. So let's now send this out. And the people that are added to that to list will now receive an email that will allow them to vote. So those emails have come in. So let me just drag Alex's email across here. And you can see it's come from Megan and I've got 6 options. So I can select the 6 options now and that is going to open up the poll for me, which is going to allow me to vote. It's presented in the web browser and you can see all the times here and I've got some options that I can select from. You can see it's got my or Alex's time zone in there and I can see that I've got all of these options. I prefer the 2 p.m. I can still attend these, but I would prefer the 2 p.m. Now let's go, I'm not available on the Monday, but I am available on the Sunday. All right. We can now also add additional attendees if we'd like, also as the recipient, but we can also now propose other times. So if none of these times that have been presented work for me, I can actually then go ahead and propose another time. All right, and that can be added as an option as well. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we'll add an option of the 6th at, let's make it 2:30 and we'll go done. All right, so the proposal's now been added to the poll. You can hear some dings. People have got updates that that's been added. All right, and you'll see it automatically sets that option to yes because I'm the one that did that. Okay, now let's now vote for that. All right, so now my votes have been submitted, but to reach consensus, we're going to need others, the other people to vote. Okay, so you can see here, this is the external person. So let's just open up that email. Same email, same options. We're going to be able to have the 6 options. We can click on these 6 options and bring that across as well. And now I can vote on this myself. And you can see that here is that additional option that the other attendee proposed. So I can do all of these. I can do that one, can't do that one, but I can't do that one. Now you can also see that the other people's responses. So obviously Megan as the organizer is available for all of these, except for this one that Alex actually proposed, right? Because we don't know whether Megan, she didn't propose that time. Now, you can see that Alex prefers the 7 a.m. my time on the Monday, all right? I can do the same things. You can see that the time is in my time zone, so the recipient's time zone. So let's now go ahead and vote for that, all right? So now we've got everybody that's voted. Let's now minimize, so that's Alex. You can see Alex has got a couple of dings happening. What you'll see here, this first one is that new proposed time that Alex did present. So whenever anyone proposes a new time, that update will get sent to all of those people that have been invited to that meeting. So they'll get a notification that an additional time choice has been proposed. But you'll see here, this is the automatic email that gets sent back. Because it reached consensus, it's automatically scheduled that event for me, all right? And you can see here that all I need to do is go, yep, I'm good to go, and I now accept that. Okay. Now, if we look at, let's bring the other users across. We'll bring the invite across here. You'll notice, same thing, this person has been sent the invite and we can accept that invite. So both people now have accepted the invite. Let's go back to Megan. So let's minimize this and let's go here. You can see we've got Megan as the organizer, has got a couple of options. You see the little confetti there. Congratulations, your meeting poll has reached consensus. So once it reaches consensus, that triggers the email, the invites being sent to those people. We can also see that we've got the acceptances coming in here. You'll see we've got Alex and Megan have accepted that meeting, and that has automatically been done for me. All right. So no moving backwards and forwards with emails, trying to find the right time, trying to negotiate with each other via an email thread. We can just put together a little mini poll and allow the recipients to actually just vote on their preferred time. Now, there is also a web interface, or it's a management interface, let's say. So it's at findtime.microsoft.com, and I can sign into this and it gives me my FindTime dashboard. Now I'm presented with a couple of things that I can do here. You can see that I've got one that's open. That's not the one we're talking about. I can cancel this one. I've got one that's been completed, and you can see that's the completed one. And we can open that up, and then we can have a look at what that poll actually was. Now we can also set some default settings. So here I can set some default. If I wanted my default meeting period to be 1 hour, then I can choose 1 hour. And then when I go to create a new poll, that default setting will be that. You can also see that I can set defaults for all of those. All right. I might want to require attendees to verify their identity, and I can save that. So the next time that I create a poll, it will have those settings. These open polls, this is an old one. So what I can do here is I can cancel it, and that will move it into cancelled. Okay, so if I click yes, it's going to move that into the cancelled tab. I can then delete that if I want to. I can also look at the settings of that, but let's delete it because it is not required anymore. So that's an overview of FindTime. So as I said at the start, if you are in a role that one of your responsibilities, I guess, is to organize meetings, especially with external users, you will be, and I'm sure you understand, trying to find that, a time where everybody is available can be time consuming and very, very painful. But with FindTime, you've just seen all we need to do is set up a poll, send that out to all the people, and they can then vote on their preferred time. Once that poll reaches consensus, a meeting invite is sent to those people automatically, and then it is all completed and they can accept, and everything is automated. All right, so I hope that brings you some value. Please share this along with your colleagues. It is posted out on YouTube, but it will also be part of a new newsletter that I have here on LinkedIn called the 365 Club. So make sure that you do subscribe to that. It will be at least once a week, maybe more. So go ahead and subscribe to that new newsletter that I've just launched on LinkedIn, and hopefully that will also bring you some value as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.